NVIDIA stock is about to have what I believe its most important event this year, and that is GTC 2025. For those that are not familiar with GTC in general, this is NVIDIA's yearly conference where they showcase all their new products, all their new solutions, cool partnerships, and what's ahead for the future. And on today's episode, I want to do the following. First, I want to take a closer look at what we learned last year from GTC 2024. Then, kind of knowing what we learned last year, I want to kind of make some predictions of what we can see here in GTC 2025. And after that, I actually want to share my overall calendar because, like I mentioned, GTC is more than just an overall keynote. It's a multi-day event, and there's going to be a lot and a lot of information for investors that are curious about the next step of AI. But before we go there, make sure to check out my free daily semiconductor newsletter, whatthechiphappen.com. The link is down below.
I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
So first, let's kind of take a closer look at when GTC is. So GTC, the main keynote is starting on March 18th at 10 a.m. or around 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm actually going to be doing a live stream here, as this is going to be the best place you're going to find any semiconductor and AI news, especially if it means with NVIDIA. So make sure to stay tuned and hit that thumbs up and subscribe button. Now, I want to kind of explain really quickly what we saw or some of the cool things we saw last year in GTC 2024. And pre-warning for those that might have never seen GTC before, it's at least an hour event. Sometimes it goes 2 hours, and it's a lot of technical things, right? Obviously, this is AI, this is hardware, this is software. So while we might be expecting fireworks, rock bands, and stuff like that, it's not the big pumper upper in stock if that's what you're into, right? If you're kind of looking for a new product here and there every 5 seconds, it's something that you have to be patient, and you're going to really have to listen to really understand some of the cool advancements that NVIDIA is making. So during last year's event is when we kind of heard of the new platform, Blackwell, which is what's kind of selling out right now for NVIDIA, the B100, the B200, the GB200. We also kind of saw NVIDIA's NIM, which was a reference to NVIDIA's inference microservices. And I do believe was one of the first times we started to hear a lot more scenarios about physical AI. And physical AI is kind of AI entering the robotic space. And within kind of like the Grace Blackwell, they announced things like their Quantum X800, their Spectrum X800, which are their networking solutions, both for Ethernet and for their infinite band solutions. Outside of that, NVIDIA also talked about their NVIDIA Switch, which allowed the creation of this massive giant GPU thanks to the NVL72, right? The GB200 NVL72, thanks to the NVIDIA Switch, allows 72 GPUs to act as one, which is super crucial for training, for inferencing, and training was for post and pre-training, and also more importantly for this time of test scaling that we're seeing a lot of AI models. So we saw NVIDIA kind of announce their DGX SuperPod, which are these massive giant supercomputers with the GB200 Blackwell chip. And like I mentioned, we also heard about Project Groot, which is a general purpose foundational model for humanoid robots. Now, ever since that event, the only real thing that I thought was anything related to what we learned last year was a few months ago, we heard of Cosmo. And Cosmo is a platform of state-of-the-art generative world foundational models, which is really much developed for physical AI systems, such as autonomous vehicles and robots. So for me, NVIDIA is really pushing two main concepts in AI right now. First is kind of pushing this AI agents, which is being driven by things like inference time scaling. And then the second thing is physical AI. So things like autonomous vehicles and the robotics market. And those are some of the things I'm going to keep a closer eye on. So during this upcoming GTC 2025, I am expecting the following. So first, I do believe we're going to hear more about the Blackwell Ultra. The Blackwell Ultra is expected to come out later this year. And that's going to be just the same Blackwell platform, but be a better version of that. Now, what I think would be super amazing is for the Hopper, we kind of had like 8 GPUs talking to each other with as one giant GPU. In the Blackwell, we kind of saw where that expanded into 72 GPUs. I am curious if with certain changes, they're able to make this 72 GPU for the Blackwell Ultra maybe be even bigger. Or if not for the Blackwell platform, maybe we might hear some early on stuff about Rubin, right? And I think these are going to be obviously the two core things that we're going to hear. We're going to get a lot of technical stuff about Blackwell as this is the year for Blackwell. I feel like if we do hear about Rubin, it's not going to be anything too crazy. It's going to be maybe more of like quick previews, quick understanding of maybe some of the levels that they're going. But regardless, what I really want to see is the NVL 72, which in my opinion is one of the biggest moats that NVIDIA has. Does that get bigger from here? Is it going to be the NVL whatever 500, right? Maybe we won't get that higher, but if we even double or triple from where it's at right now, I think that would be extremely bullish at NVIDIA, not only innovating, but also preventing its competitors from even stepping close. Because one of the things that NVIDIA has as a moat is the ability to talk with all these GPUs at these low latency levels where it acts as one giant GPU on like kind of a top level overview. And something like that would, in my opinion, just make ASIC solutions and AMD solutions so far ahead that again, I wouldn't worry about competition. So I think we're going to hear a lot more about the Blackwell Ultra, about their new networking solutions. I think we might even hear a little bit about Vero CPU and the Rubin GPU platform and what this new NVL Link Switch 6 might do. All right, so next I want to kind of showcase my calendar for GTC 2025. And I'm not going to the event, but I am going to be virtually watching a lot of these different sessions. And there's a lot of sessions. There's hundreds and hundreds of sessions. I've picked the ones that I'm very curious about. And some might be wondering, Jose, I'm looking at the calendar right now, and that looks like a lot of events. Why would you care to spend so much time in one company? And the easiest answer is NVIDIA is the king of AI. And by listening to the king of AI, you get to see, right? This is kind of the top level of AI. You get to see how AI is innovating. Not only that, you get to use that information to see what could be some of our potential next investments. First, the most important one that I'm curious about is going to happen on Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. And this is going to be GTC 2025 Keynote. This is when Jensen pretty much showcases all the new technologies coming out for NVIDIA. Now, Jensen has one more keynote, and that is going to be on Thursday at the same time. This is when he's going to discuss quantum computing with a lot of quantum CEOs. Now, Jensen, a few months ago, kind of said that quantum computing was multiple years away. I wonder how this conversation is going to go, as a lot of those CEOs kind of rebutted that kind of discussion from Jensen. So I'm curious how this kind of team is going to go and how this keynote is going to go, but I am curious to see where quantum computing is and where it's heading and where's the best place to do it when you have all these CEOs at once. So I wonder how they're going to be able to host so many at once. I wonder if they take times doing it, but overall, I think it's going to be a great learning lesson for the quantum market. Now, another one, then outside of Jensen, the second person that I believe is very important in this keynotes is someone called Bill Daly. So Bill Daly is the chief scientist and senior vice president of research at NVIDIA. So this is kind of like the brains behind NVIDIA's development. And he has two keynotes on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, March 18th at 5 to 5:40, he's actually joined by the chief AI scientist at Meta. You might know Jan because he does kind of get a lot of fights with Elon on X, I believe. But overall, they're going to be talking about the frontiers of AI and computing. I'm not going to lie, these two are geniuses. So whatever they say is probably going to go over my head. But I do believe kind of watching 40 minutes and learning what they see the next kind of breakthroughs in deep learning and AI architectures could maybe help me understand this space a little bit more. Then Bill Daly, again, the chief scientist, is going to have something on March 18th at 7 to 7:40. And this is kind of going from insights from NVIDIA's research. And this is going to be detailed topics of what NVIDIA has kind of done in the past year. This is something that more of As an NVIDIA shareholder, I am curious to learn about, again, him being super smart. I wonder if what he says is just going to go over my head, but I really want to take the time to listen to it. Next, I am going to kind of talk, I'm going to jump here to Wednesday, and Wednesday midday, we are going to have around March 19th at 2 p.m. The research scientists of OpenAI talk about advanced AI reasoning from game mastery to complex problem solving. So I'm not really too excited about the title. What I'm really curious about is about Noah Brown. This is a very, very respected scientist at OpenAI, and just being able to listen to him for 40 minutes will give me a lot of insight of maybe some things that we should keep a closer eye on in the AI market. Now, I do have three other kind of presentations or four other different sessions that I want to look at, but they all fall into the same market. So on Monday at 4 o'clock, there's going to be an introduction to NVIDIA Cosmo. And remember, Cosmo is that kind of foundational model that focuses on physical AI, things like autonomous driving and robotics and kind of synthetic video generation through that. On Wednesday, we are also going to see kind of an introduction to building humanoid robots. Jim Fan, which I believe is a very, very respected research scientist at NVIDIA for the robotics market, is going to be there. So if, like I mentioned, Bill Daly is someone that's crucial for overall NVIDIA. I think Jim Fan is pretty crucial for the robotics aspect. And any kind of keynote that he's in, I'm paying attention into. And more importantly, an introduction to building humanoid robots, I do believe we can learn a lot about how humanoid robots are being built and some of maybe potential investment thesis. Kind of following here with the robotics market, we can see on Wednesday at 1 p.m. AI for humanoid robots. Again, just more robotics news. And another one on Wednesday is at 5 o'clock, a new era of generalist robotics, the rise of humanoids. So again, this is going to be by Jim Fan. We also have people from Boston Dynamics, Agility Robotics, a lot of CTOs, right? So that's pretty crucial. And CEOs from founder of 1X. So some popular robotics companies here. I think these conferences are free, and the ability to be able to sit in such short amount of time listening to people of all different industries, leaders in those industries, and being able to pick up great information is what I believe gives me the edge over some investors. So again, there's so much more. If maybe you're curious about the cybersecurity market, if you're curious about the healthcare market, there's a lot of events. But this is the calendar that I'm going to be using for this upcoming week. So I hope this provided a lot of great insight. I hope you guys enjoyed the information. Take care, have a good day, and see you all next time.